name is Thorlamon, and today I'll be showing the tall nail anti-rotation press, or also known as a Pallof press. So I'll be having my client Samantha be doing the exercise. So the reason I picked this exercise for her is because she is postnatal and also possibly has diastasis recti. So with that, it keeps her in a very safe position, being upright, doing abdominal exercises because of the abs being spread apart. With the anti-rotation, it actually pulls the abs together using the internal and external obliques as our primary muscles, as well as our transverse abdominis and our rotators. And then with the secondary muscles, we're looking at the quadratus lumborum and then also our glute max in that tall kneeling position. So with the anti-rotation press, it is a closed chain, closed kinetic chain, anti-rotation or rotary stability exercise done in a tall kneeling position, which is right here. So 2 knees on the ground, and actually I have my feet almost in a tripod position, so they're not quite touching in the back, but they're pretty close, and I want my toes up as I'm doing them. So with this exercise, it's really a belly press as we do it. So today we're going to be using a band. You can use a cable. If you have a cable press machine or like a cable fly machine, it works really well with a handle for it. So all I'm going to have Samantha do is, after I show her this, we're going to be in a tall kneeling position. We're going to be nice and tall, just like the name says. I'm going to have her grab onto the band, hand over hand. She's actually going to bring the band right between the sternum and the navel. And then all she's going to do now is just press out and then come back just like that. So we're looking for a straight line. What we don't want to see is press and this and have the band pull in, because usually that means there's too much resistance on it or the obliques aren't strong enough to maintain this position. So it kind of looks like you're stirring a cauldron, and that's usually the joke I use with my clients. The other thing we're not looking for is here, and then it's almost like a downward motion as they're pressing. So it's a little off center and it's down, and usually when we see that, again, it's that almost like weakness or the compensation pattern. We're still just looking here. And if this is too difficult, we just move the client in closer to the anchor point, and then that makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to have Samantha now go down into the tall kneeling position. I'm going to have her grab the band and bring the band right between her sternum and her navel. So once she is there, this is our preparation phase. And then what she's going to be doing now is she's going to press out. This is going to be our concentric phase as she presses out. And right at the top right here, I'm not going to have her hold it so you can go back. So that top out phase is going to be our isometric or our central phase. And then as she comes back in, it's going to be the eccentric and the terminal phase. Technically, our isometric phase, as she presses out, do 2 more reps for me, Samantha. Technically, the isometric phase is the whole entire thing because she's resisting that band pulling her into the anchor point where it's at. So the only contraindications we would see with someone like this is actually knee injuries and wrist injuries. So specifically because this puts a lot of pressure on the wrist as she does it. So there are ways around it. It's just, there's, again, better ways to do it if she has a wrist injury. Knee injuries, the only thing I would have her do is just go to either a half kneeling position or a seated position even, versus a standing position, just because we want to build upon like really good posture, which is what this promotes. Because again, she's very tall, shoulders are here, shoulder blades are contracted, and when you get to that pushed out position, you have to be good posture, because again, as soon as the head comes forward, shoulders roll forward, anything like that, you start to fall out of position, and you will either be pulled into the band or else, or fall over, or the arm will move all around. So I'm actually going to have her do a few more while I'm going to do the NPI grading process. So with the NPI, I'm going to be looking mostly from right here because I can see everything from this lateral view. So do 3 more for me, Samantha. Good. Bring it a little bit lower, right there. And good. So for palpation, really what I'm looking for is just the obliques. Can I put my hands on you?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So we're going to be looking for the obliques right here, because right here from mostly the outside is where we're going to feel it, but there's going to be some passive on the inside too. So I'm going to have her do 3 more reps for me as I palpate. Good? and actually do one additional rep on top of those 3. Good. So once she can do this motion, all we're going to switch to is just we're going to start having her stand up. So we're going to have her in half kneeling position for the next progression once she can get a 90 with that. And then once she can get here, then we're going to go right up tall or to a standing position and really challenge it from right there. And then that is the tall kneeling anti-rotation press, or